Hello, hello, j'espère que tu vas bien, c'est Valérie, juste pour te dire que cet épisode de On est ensemble est en anglais. Just to let you know that this episode is in English, I feel like I'm a flight attendant. Donc si tu ne parles pas anglais, je comprends, ça peut être un peu frustrant, ne t'inquiète pas, le podcast revient dans 2 semaines avec un épisode en français. And if you do speak in English, just stay tuned because we're going to talk about my experience in New Orleans Mardi Gras and you don't want to miss it. Hi you, I am so happy that you are here. Let's start there. I'm very excited that you are giving me your time and your attention for the next whatever minutes I'm going to be speaking in your ears. It's a privilege, it's an honor, so thank you so much for being here. My name is Valérie and I am... who am I exactly right now? I was about to say I'm a French-based entrepreneur, but I'm not anymore. Like tomorrow I'm moving to Dakar in Senegal. So who am I? Let's say I'm an entrepreneur. I'm an inner child activist and I am the creator and founder of Vibe with Your Inner Child, which is basically a time and space where I am helping people reconnect with their inner child so they can enjoy the life that is given to them and create also a life that makes sense to them. And this work that I'm doing and that is so dear to my heart is also a combination of the culture that I've been growing up in, mainly a Western culture with like the French and the American. But yeah, no, I was totally in the American culture without living there. I was like watching at the shows, the music, everything. So the Western part is more for me like a self-centered culture, which is a good thing and which is a bad thing, or which is neither of those. Like it can be a good or a bad thing, it doesn't matter. And my African roots, I'm Cameroonian, is more centered around the community. So working and connecting with your inner child, the work as I'm doing it for my clients in general, is to, well, embrace that mixed of culture and to think about self-care at the service of the community care. So it's you first, obviously, because you need to make sure your cup is full, and you do that to help your community, because whatever you're going to embody is going to be magical and it's going to inspire so many people around you. That's exactly what we want to change this world. So I'm very excited. This podcast is called On est ensemble. On est ensemble in English means we are together. And in this podcast that is out every 2 Friday, I am just, exploring subjects that matters to me. It could be spirituality, it can be experiences, it can be healing practices and modalities, it can be interviews. It's kind of a diary, but it's a diary for me. It's obviously therapeutical. And it's also something that I do for the community because I know how it's powerful sometimes to listen to someone else's path to understand ours. And also it's powerful also to listen to someone and to download answers to questions that you have and questions that you don't have, that you don't even know you had, So this episode is in English. I am excited / nervous because obviously English is not my first language, but I'm like, you know what, fuck it, Valerie. Like, do you want to live in a state of fear? Do you want to let your fear paralyze you? Or you just want to be that person who's like, yeah, whatever, I'm going to do it. Isn't it going to be perfect? Obviously not, but that's okay. You're safe anyway, you're loved anyway, you're protected anyway, so you're good. The message that I want to share is something that is deeply important for me because, as you know by the title of this podcast, we're going to talk about my experience in Mardi Gras, in New Orleans, that I'm offering myself as a gift every year since 2020. Except in 2021 because, of course, the pandemic hit, so I couldn't go. But it's something that this episode I wanted to do it, I think it's been 3 years that it's been sitting on my mind. I remember the first time I came back from New Orleans in 2020, I was like, oh, I'm going to do a podcast on that. But I was so shy and insecure and going through so many shit that I did not. But this year, that's the year. So very happy to be able to share that with you. Before we get here, I wanted to start by a little breathing exercise because, hey, maybe you don't breathe properly in your day-to-day life, and then you wonder why you feel anxious, why you feel like you are not in your body, or why you feel like you are dissociating. Breathing is something that you have right here, right now. It's free. It's a gift. So if that podcast is just a reminder for you to breathe, then I'm going to take that chance. I want to start with the breathing exercise. Very simple. And it's this one is very practical because basically it's going to help you activate a part of your nervous system, the parasympathetic. This part of the system is basically a signal that tells your body, okay, we are safe, we can rest, and we can digest. And that's the state that we want to get in order for us to welcome your inner child, be able to talk to him, her, also make sure that he or she feels safe enough to communicate with you, give you information, show you things that you maybe weren't able to see before because your eyes were closed and you were in a survival mode. So this breath technique is going to help you get out of the survival mode, which is a mode that most of us are in. It's a mode that can burn you out, basically. So without further ado, let's breathe together. So very easy. What I'm going to ask you to do basically is make sure that you are comfortable the way you are. So if you're seated, that you're seated comfortably. If you're laying down, that you're laying down comfortably. Take off everything that makes you uncomfortable. Like if you're tight on in your clothes, please make sure that you're again feeling very comfy. If you're driving, don't do it, obviously. Or you can kind of don't do it. I don't want to have to be responsible of any kind of accident. But anyway, what we're going to do is we're going to breathe and we're going to inhale twice. So when you're going to inhale, I want you to make sure that your belly rise like you were a pregnant lady. I don't know if that's a good comparison, but it's the only thing that comes in my mind right now. So what I want you to do is very simple. You're going to inhale twice with your nose. And then you're going to exhale once to deflate your belly. And you can exhale with your mouth open. So again, 2 inhalation through your nose, exhalation through your mouth. And if you're like me right now, you feel high. I feel so calm right now. And all the anxiety that I had before is just gone. It takes 5, 10 seconds, 30 seconds, not even. And you have the power to change your state of mind. And it's so powerful, so precious. So I just wanted to give that to you. Use it as much as you want. Anytime that you feel a bit stressed, anxious, if you feel like you're not grounded, paranoid, whatever, make sure you go back to your breath, and it's going to help you tremendously. And remind yourself that you are loved, protected, guided, wanted, that your life matters, and that the world needs you. And the world needs you because you have so many gifts to give to this world, I'm sure. So yeah, I'm feeling so much better right now. This is so good. Oh my god. Let's dive in. Let's dive in, shall we? So yeah. Mardi Gras, Fat Tuesday. My god, this is an experience that honestly, when I think about all the things that led me to live this, I think that it reminds me how magical this life is. Because if I go back, the reason why I had the chance to experience Mardi Gras is because when I was in a business school in France, I think it was 10 years ago or something like that. Yeah, almost a little bit more. We had to do an exchange program. And so of course, I was obsessed with the United States. The first time I went to America was when I was in high school, and I went to Seattle for a month. It was my first time abroad, my first time alone in a family, and I loved it. I loved everything about the US, honestly. I say loved because obviously it has changed a little bit since I am a little bit more conscious, and I feel like my third eye, or my first eye actually, has opened a little bit more, and obviously I can't understand exactly what it means to live there because I don't, but I can see some part of it, and I'm like, I love this place, and also it's very different, I will say. So the first time I went to New Orleans is because I wanted to go to the US during my exchange program. And what happened is that I was, I would say, kind of average in general. I was doing everything that I could not to stand out, which is totally the opposite of who I am today. But because for a long time I was the only black kid in a mainly white environment, and so subconsciously I was trying to just be average. And I knew with my averageness that I couldn't go to those schools. I think San Diego was one of the best school, and I don't remember exactly the others. But so I was like, okay, where can I go? Being strategic, because obviously it was on the merit. So the better you were at school, the more choice you had in terms of the places you wanted to go. So I think the first choice that I made was New Orleans, because I knew deep down that in being in a white school, a pretty bougie white school, no one will want to go there. Because it's, yeah, New Orleans is like, first of all, there is what New Orleans is, and even me, I can't even understand like the whole thing because I'm living in a bubble when I'm there. And there is also New Orleans as the word says it, and the white French people saw it before, I guess. And so I got it. I got it. No, I think no one wanted it, and it was in the U.S. But because, and that's just me talking. It's just my experience. Maybe I'm wrong, but I don't think I am. I think people didn't want to go to a mainly black city that was actually known for Katrina and also violence, and like a dangerous place to be in the US. So I got it. I got it. And the more magical thing that happened is that I got it with my friend, who's now my best friend, Sonia. And that's where actually our friendship started to really, really thrive, because it was such a cosmic experience that, yeah. Just imagine you're in your 20s, two black women landing in New Orleans. I had a ton shit of money at that time, not because my parents will give it to me, kind of, but I was working previously at Air France as a flight attendant, so it was an amazing job where I got to travel the world and also get paid to travel the world and sleep in 5 star hotels in Dubai, in LA, in Tokyo, in China, in Beijing. So I had a lot of money through that. And also I was working in my father's company, so I had that pay. So I was loaded with cash. I was alone abroad with a friend in New Orleans with money. So I don't think I need to paint a picture of what happened when I was there, but it was definitely one of the best time of my life. It was it was magical. It was so special. I met so many amazing people there also that are still my friend till this day. These are the people that are welcoming me in their house, in their community when I go back 10, 12 years after. How powerful is that? How powerful. So for something that I did, like being strategic, how the impact that it had on my life till this day, it's insane. I went to Tulane University. It was literally a time of decadence. I don't really remember what I studied there, to be honest. I kind of do. I remember this teacher. He was, I think the course was entrepreneurship. And not at all the classes, but few classes he was bringing some king cake. Okay, that's actually a cake that is made with brioche dough, and it's braided and laced with cinnamon, and it's glazed with like purple, green, gold sugar. It's covered in icing, and obviously these are the color of Mardi Gras, and it's addictive basically. So he was sharing the king cakes. I think the class was like 100 people. That was crazy. I think it was an amazing class, and also I took negotiation, so I do remember some stuff. But I spent most of my time partying in Bourbon Street. I was partying so much with my friends in Bourbon Street. Bourbon Street, basically, it's the, if you have seen like movies that took place in New Orleans, Bourbon Street is the main street where, they throw beats out of the balconies, for instance. So it's a street where bars on bars on bars on bars. So music, bars, food, alcohol, obviously. So we were there having the time of our lives without any adults' supervisions, and it was so precious. So 10, I think I went back the year after because I only stayed a semester. I went back the year after because we wanted to spend Halloween there. Oh my God, how crazy I was. Like my friend Sonia were like, oh yeah, we should go to New Orleans again. So we went back just to spend Halloween because it's a big thing in the US, and we wanted to be able to, wear a costume and be whoever we want and be celebrated because we were whoever we wanted to be. And at that time, I didn't have the word to understand what was going on with the city. But now, 10, 12 years after, I totally get it. And that's what I want to share with you, because if you don't have the opportunity to go to New Orleans, you can still make sure that Mardi Gras is an everyday thing for you. So let's talk about this.
Hello, my name is DJ Chinua. I'm an LA-based DJ who spent 12 years living and working and celebrating in New Orleans. Mardi Gras means a lot of different things to me. First and foremost, it's a way to celebrate the city of New Orleans. It's a way to participate in its beautiful, long-held cultures. It's a way to experience new parts of the city and that I don't normally get to do. It's also a way to spend real quality time with my friends and my family and my loved ones. The interesting thing about Mardi Gras is that it is a time of the year where things shut down. Like, a lot of people are off work because you can't even really drive around. So it's one of the only times in our adult lives where we just get to completely shut off all of our other responsibilities and really focus on having fun, on forging new relationships, on spending time meeting new people and having new experiences. And, the goal of the week is just to have fun, to be safe and to have fun. And whether it's someone that you meet for a couple of minutes in the street while y'all are partying, or someone that you connect with that becomes a lifelong friend or lover or collaborator, it's just a time for everyone to come together. And to me, that's the most important part.
Okay, for those who don't know what Mardi Gras is, Fat Tuesday, in New Orleans, it's been going soon after the city's founding in 1718. And the first recorded Mardi Gras street parade in New Orleans took place in 1837. So it's been a long time of tradition, of, festivities, of celebration. And that takes place on the Tuesday before the Ash Wednesdays, which mark the beginning of the Christian season of Lent. So during this time, basically, it's a lot of parades, parties, balls, colorful floats, costume, music, love, food, celebration, so many traditions. It's a major touristic attraction. And honestly, it's been it's my third one. And I know that I haven't seen any. It's not that I haven't seen anything. It's just that I know that there are so many things that I haven't take the time to see. And it's okay because I know I will come back. It's so magical to be in this city during this time. It's, you have the southern hospitality, and then you have the magic of grown-ups, families, communities coming together to be in costume, mask, to be celebrating life and to be doing exactly what they want to be and to embody exactly who they want to be. That's how I say it. It's so powerful. It's magical. Talking about connecting with your inner child, Mardi Gras in New Orleans is definitely like the temple of your inner child. And that's why I'm going every year, to be honest.
Mardi Gras, for me, it's also a time of reconnection with my inner child because little Sonia loves to dress up. And on Mardi Gras, she gets to dress up and wear crazy creative outfits for 4 days in a row. And I'm always amazed by everyone's creativity. The kids, adults, senior, everyone are wearing costumes, the costume of their choices, and it's just a beautiful melting pot. I love it. And on top of being a time of reconnection, it's actually also a time of deconnection for me, where I really get to stay in the present moment for like 4 days, completely free from my responsibilities and my roles. I just get to be me and enjoy it. And to be honest, my wild side actually comes out completely during this time. So yeah, to summarize, Mardi Gras in few words would be for me friendship, love, creativity, freedom, and of course fun. And I look forward to the next time.
So the first time I went back was in 2020 with my friend, my best friend Sonia, and she actually was the one who booked my ticket because I was broke as fuck. I was coming out of a long toxic relationship, and our friend Josh was like, "Hey, you should come to Mardi Gras, come to," and we were like, "Yeah, yeah, yeah, whatever." And I don't know what happened in 2020 because it was just before the pandemic that we decided to go. We booked our flight. I remember I was in my former apartment. I was like, "So I'm going to New Orleans again. Wow, okay." And we went. And I didn't even know what to expect. I didn't know what was Mardi Gras. The only idea or memories that I have about Mardi Gras was the thing that I was doing in kindergarten in France, where I was disguising myself with trash bags. So it was a long time ago. So we made it here there, and right now it's really funny to see how it evolved because the first time we went there, we asked our friend, "Well, is there a place where we can crash?" He connected us with one of his friends, and we stayed there in her house. But it was like it was kind of a living room, but we brought our own mattress. It was so cold. It was so cold. And I forgot because when I was in New Orleans back in the days, it was hot because I was there doing like the August semester, like fall semester. So it was hot. So it was so cold. I was not prepared. I was not even ready to party that much. I was really stuck in something that was heavy and that of course I had to work through during several years actually. And I was mesmerized because it was party on party and party, and the good girl in me was like, "Oh no, we cannot party that much. It's not good. I have to sleep. I can't drink that much." I was giving myself so many rules and boundaries that honestly when I think about Mardi Gras right now, it was just the opposite of what I'm doing today. It's like the time where I'm letting myself being as free as I want because I am grounded enough, I am mature enough, and I know myself enough to also have invisible boundaries that I know I have a base, like I know I'm gonna eat well in the morning and make sure that I do meditate and do breathe and do my yoga so I can party as a motherfucker. That's basically the plan. The plan. So I feel like we're now Mardi Gras OGs, to be honest. And I'm only gonna speak for myself, but I do prepare so much better year after year. Like to me, Mardi Gras is an initiation, like everything in my life, because I believe that I'm living a spiritual life, and everything that I'm doing is spiritual. So I knew this year that I had specific intentions. I had been working a lot on myself since December, on traumas, on feelings of inadequacies, on fears. I was working on accepting to take full responsibilities on my life and stop blaming others. So I was quitting being a victim. Right now, I'm in a 5-day detox to get rid of those kind of things. Like it's layers. It's like you do a work on something, a core wound, and then it's not over. It's never over. You always have layers, and it get deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper, and that's the process. It's like a fractal, basically. So yeah, all the things I knew I was working actively on them through therapy, mainly through different like healing modalities. I did a lot of dance, ecstatic dance, family constellation, mediumistic sessions, coaching, psychogenealogy. It's where you're going to work on your tree, and you're going to understand like the things that your tree are telling you. It can be like cycles that repeat themselves. It can be questions of loyalty in your families. It can be names, and through the tree, your tree is going to speak to yourself. So it was intense. It was really intense, and it was 3 months nonstop, because that's what I do. I'm kind of intense, so I go all in, and I was tired. But also, I knew that I had this time in New Orleans where I would be able to rest, and I will be able to reward myself for the work that I've been putting, because no one is asking me to do all this shit. It costs resources, it costs money, it costs time, energy. It creates insecurities, because when you want to embody the light, you have to go through the darkness. No one is asking me to do that. It's just something that I feel, because I know that once I do that, I'm able to be at the service of the others. And my job, as I told you, or maybe I did not, but if I did, it's just a reminder. My first job is to take care of myself, and actually, that's your job too. It's not being a DJ or a bartender or a coach or a therapist or whatever you're doing in your life. Your first job is to take care of yourself. Then you do this job. So my first job is to make sure that my inner child feels safe and secure and is happy. I have to make sure that I am the adult that I needed when I was young, which means that I have some time to do things that I need and not things that I want. Even though at some point, after a while, you understand that you want it, because you can see the repercussion of the work that you're doing in the world in general, like in your behaviors and things that triggers you and don't triggers you anymore. So you know what's happening when you work on yourself. But at the beginning, it's not funny. So I went to Mardi Gras with that state of mind, like, okay, I work my ass off. My intentions are very clear. I want to celebrate myself. I want to be free. I want to embody everything that I've worked on this past 3 months, actually a year or even more. And I want to just let go and let God and let my inner child take the wheel, because most of the time I'm guiding her, and now that's her time. So being in a place where I know I'm going to have massive downloads, understandings, healing, doing that with joy is so powerful. It's something that I'm trying to create even more, because there is this Japanese term. I think it's a Buddhist term, actually. It's called kensho, and it's the idea of growing by pen. In the contrary, satori is the idea of growing by insight. Vishen Lakiani is someone that I follow. It's the founder of Mind Valley. He talks about it very much, so listen to him right now.
One of the biggest ideas I learned from Beckwith is this concept called Kensho versus Satori. Kensho, says Michael Beckwith, is growth through pain. Satori, says Michael Beckwith, is growth through insight. So if you accept the mental model that you are a soul having a human experience, and that, to make it fun, the soul forgets that it is truly a soul and puts you in this playground called planet Earth, then every now and then, the soul might need to autocorrect you. And it's going to autocorrect you in one of two ways. Kensho is autocorrection through pain. You're not listening. You're stubborn. So the soul is like, okay, I'm going to smack you at the back of your head till you wake up. That is growth through pain. But there's also growth through insight. And insight is when you are listening. Insight is when you go through introspection. Insight is when you meditate. Insight is when you learn to listen to your heart or intuition. And insight is what you call a Satori moment. It's growth through awakening.
Since I know that I can grow through by insight, I am very intentional when I do things. And going to New Orleans was an intention. And I wanted to do all this in the joy, in the power of the joy, the love. And it's obviously a gift that I'm giving to my inner child so she can be totally free to be exactly who she wants to be, when she wants to be it, and knowing obviously that I have her back. I am providing the basis, the basic things so she can, sleep, good food, boundaries, listening to myself when I feel I'm tired, all that. Mardi Gras 2023 was so powerful because for the first time, I really claim out and loud that it will be an initiation. And the power of the word and the power of the intentions. The word is the beginning of your reality. Once you speak something, it's like a spell, that's why we say spelling. It's something that creates your reality. So when you want something, of course, obviously, your thoughts are creating your reality as well. The idea of spelling, to cast a spell, is going to create your reality. So I said it out and loud. That's going to be an intention. It's going to be an initiation. It's going to be very spiritual. And I remember talking to my friend Sam a few weeks back before we were organizing the trip. And I was telling him that I was already praying for us to be and to feel safe, to be able to party, to celebrate in a safe container. I was asking the spirits, the guide, the ancestors, the universe to welcome us and to create a safe space and time where we could be together, party hard, and doing that in the best condition possible.
What is Mardi Gras? I guess we kind of got to start off with a more textbook definition where you have the season of indulgence and decadence right before that season of Lent, that season of sacrifice and cleansing. But to me, Mardi Gras has really become kind of a showcasing and a extension and a magnification of the spirit of New Orleans. It's become my second home, a city I know and love. But really, there's no other place and no other feeling that you can get from a place that sense of creativity, that expression, that freedom to express yourself, along with high frequency level of celebration and family, and it's really nothing like it. And then during Mardi Gras, man, you get that times 1,000 for almost a month. You know what I'm saying? It's so incredible why you get a group of people all just look for any reason to celebrate anything. And this is on any day, celebrating life to the fullest capacity. And then you have so much creativity and self-expression. There's nothing like it. Not to that extent. You got people that will go out of their way and not overstep and not overreach, but overextend themselves to make you feel welcome, to welcome you in as one of their own. You know what I'm saying? It's just like you go anywhere, you go out to eat, you're just taking a walk in whatever neighborhood, you're going for an event, you run into somebody, they're going to make sure that you're doing well, you know what I'm saying? That you're finding the right vibes, the right corners, the right situations, the right celebrations, make sure that you're celebrating in the right way, you know what I'm saying? That you're having a good time and making sure that you know how to be respectful in that situation. But I don't know, whatever you need, you're going to find it because somebody is going to help you do that and do so. But really, I can't do it justice. Words aren't going to get the job done. It's something you really got to come and experience for yourself. I know that much.
When I landed in New Orleans this year, I made sure to come 2 nights before the first party because I am actually, when I think about it, I'm the only one coming from abroad, like from overseas. I came from Paris, so the jet lag was real, and I just wanted to prepare my body to be ready to turn up properly and to do it consciously, obviously. When I get there, like I know that I'm going to unplug. It's like the word outside of New Orleans and Mardi Gras does not exist. Even my blood family, I don't care about them when I'm there. To be, I don't care. That's true. I'm like, for a week, I'm not going to pay attention to messages. I'm not going to read emails. I'm not going to do that. It's something that took me 2 years, 3 years actually to get there, because before I was working a little bit. The only thing that I do when I'm there, of course, is sharing on Instagram, because I want to share that amazing vibe. And I want people that are always complaining that I'm going to Mardi Gras in New Orleans every single year to remember that it's free. And if you want to join, you're more than welcome. Again, even next year, like, it's free. You should come. It's an amazing experience. Hopefully this podcast is going to help you realize that you need this in your life. I hope that for you. Yeah, the family start to arrive. When I say family, it's basically the people that we all come together every year since 2022, for me at least. So I have people coming from Atlanta. I don't know if they say that. Atlanta, basically, the city, Atlanta. People coming from San Diego. My best friend is from San Diego. She lives there with her husband. I had like a friend from DC, from Canada, like crazy. And we all come together at this time with this intention. And it's always such a fabulous time to find each other again, to find the love that we left a year before. And I feel like since we are all working on our own shit during the year, we come with the new version. But the new version, the main thing that is not changing is the love that we have for each other. And it's so powerful.
Love you.
Love you guys.
Y'all are great. Cheers.
I love those people so much. That is also why I'm doing the podcast in English, because I want to share that love with them. They know that I love them. I told them every single freaking minute when I'm there. But I just want this podcast to be a testimony, a legacy that I leave, because this need to be recorded. This need to be reminded. I have so much love for my family when I'm there. It's 5 days where we're going to be celebrating together. And the thing that was very special this year is that we rented a house together, which was not what we did before. So we got to spend 24/7 together. And it was amazing. Like, imagine, it was like teenagers in a room, in a New Orleans house, with a kitchen, with music, with beds, obviously. And it was so special. And every night we get ready for the party. And then once everyone is ready for the party, obviously we drink a little bit. Some drink, some don't. I did drink a little bit. We do whatever we have to do. We put ourselves in the good state of mind, we'll say. And we hype each other. Like, oh my God, you're beautiful, you're amazing. We do that all the time. It is such a fresh bubble of love. To be honest, know that I'm very fortunate to have this kind of environment here in Paris. Like, I have amazing friends and family that support me all the time. And it's very special to live that 24/7 with people that you see only once a year. It's a gift. And I know that I'm blessed when I'm with them. I love them so much.
So what does Mardi Gras means to me? Well, it's a very powerful time and the biggest celebration of the year for me in many ways. First of all, is when I get to see again one of my best friends. It's our rendezvous of the year, and I'm extremely grateful to have been able to do it for the past 3 years. Our friendship has a very special bond with the city of New Orleans, because it's really where our friendship started to grow very deep. I also get to meet again with many of my local friends from New Orleans, and to share a little bit of their world for a few days.
Not being able to see people like that on a regular basis make the moment so special and so precious. And I'm just in awe of everyone in this community that I've been building for almost 3 years. It's something that we co-create, obviously. And I love you guys, just so you know. So I want to share with you the things that I've learned personally during that time. And also I want to give you some things that if you don't go to New Orleans, if you don't have the opportunity to go, it's fine. You can still implement those things in your life. So I learned that I'm free. I learned that I am powerful in the sense where I am the one creating my reality. And it's something that I knew before, but I was speaking it. I was not embodying it. It's a bit different. In New Orleans, I know that I can be half naked in the street and I'm going to be celebrated. I know that I can be awkward and weird and just myself. I'm going to be protected by my brothers, my sister who have my back every time. There is such a level of kindness and caring between us that sometimes always like, I'm like, not surprised, but I'm like, oh wow.
For me, Mardi Gras is the longest in a time where I felt that it was acceptable to be 100% me. Didn't have to tone myself down, didn't have to make myself smaller. I was allowed to exist as authentically as possible. And I realized that that's how I wanted to live. Mardi Gras is a time where people learn how to be authentic. There is no judgment. Whatever is going on during Mardi Gras, people acknowledge and accept that they too are going on their own adventure. Everyone is there to enjoy the music, the culture, the festivities. You have people of all walks of life standing on corners and streets waiting for people to roll by with the most magnificent decorations, being themselves, being open. Most people are too afraid of what others will think to wear costumes out in public, so they don't do it. But Mardi Gras, it's acceptable for it to happen. It's a time where you can be you without the fear of judgment. So for me, Mardi Gras means a time for authenticity, time to appreciate and love yourself and the world around you to a level that you allow them to simply exist and be experienced.
What I love the most about this journey is that I got to experience the love in between Black men and their friendship and their brotherhood. And it's always something that warms my heart so deeply to see Black men loving themselves in their own way, caring for themselves. We need more of this. And Black men, you guys deserve this time infinite. It's being surrounded also by gorgeous, gorgeous goddess, women, sisters, that again, we don't even talk that much during the year. Although this year I think it's a little bit different, but and when we are together, it's like, my God, I've missed you so much and I love you. Like everything that you are, everything that you are, I love, you know? It's memories that I'm having in my mind. I'm smiling because, okay, there are the parties, obviously. So you have themes for the parties. So the first one this year was, what was it? Freak Show Circus. That one was organized by my friend Josh with Dr. Romance and his brand that is called Pure and his amazing DJ partner, Jax. So that was the theme and we had to find costume around that. Then we had another party and this one was the mom party and the theme was Into the Deep, I think. Yeah. So that's just what you have and you have to build a costume around this. And then we had obviously Mardi Gras, Fat Tuesday, where the theme, the color was pink, so we were all dressed in pink. And so when you have those guidelines, what I love about this, and that's why my inner child feels so happy when it's Mardi Gras time, I get to create costumes. I get to imagine, okay, who do I want to be? How do I want to express myself? How can I embody all the downloads that I've been working on this past year and really create a costume around that and call my alter ego to be that person. You know what I mean? It's so much fun. The first year I didn't even have a costume the first year. But the second year though, so 2022, my God, we worked on it. I was like, okay, these are my intentions in terms of what I'm going to be wearing. And people are so creative. I'm not talking about children who are doing costume, although there are some children, obviously. I'm talking about grown-ups from all the walks of lives. They are here to celebrate life, to celebrate themselves, to embody something that maybe they can't embody in their day-to-day life, or just to celebrate a part of themselves that has been hidden or wounded or whatever, you know. It is magical. So much creativity, so much colors and sparkles and craziness, and oh my God, what a gift to be in this moment, in this place.
Mardi Gras is an explosion of creativity, passion, community, love. It lifts up these things that aren't always like valued by our world on a day-to-day. It brings people together. Your eyes are open to new perspectives, different ways of living, different ways of understanding. For me personally, I'm on a bit of a high even still. I feel like nothing can bring me down. I'm craving to be like more present in my life and in the lives of my friends, which I feel like I hadn't really felt like I wanted to do for a while. My friends here in New York, like they commented on how much I was full on smiling in each and every photo and video that they saw. And I don't always, big cheese like that. So that was kind of cool that they even noticed that. Mardi Gras, it's about the party, but it's more so about the people that you're surrounded by and those you meet. It is a really good fucking time through and through, and I was just so lucky to be a part of it this year with the most amazing, hilarious, talented family around.
What Mardi Gras taught me this year is to open my heart. I felt a very big heart opening. My heart chakra bursted open actually, and I was ready. I asked for it. It burst open to welcome and attract love, and it was and still is a magical experience that I'm very thankful to live. I know I worked for it, but I asked for something specific and the universe delivered. So I know it's also because I was allowing myself to embody freedom and to not care too much about what people will say and to just be a magical bubble of love. It happened and I'm like so thankful for that. It's magical. Now I think there are so many things that you can learn from Mardi Gras even though you were not there, even though maybe you're not gonna come anytime soon. It's fine. It's just a spirit. I remember my friend Mark told me, it can be Mardi Gras every day if you want. And I was like, oh, now it makes sense because the way I dress, the way I approach life, the way I dance when I'm in a party, the way I talk to people, I am trying as much as I can when I have the resources, because it's not toxic positivity. That's not the point. But I'm trying as much as I can to be in that energy. And it's something that you can really feel and then put in a little tube and then have it with you and travel with it wherever you're going. Like I'm going to Dakar tomorrow. I'm going to try to embody that. Of course, not being naked in Dakar, it's not going to work, but I'm just going to adapt. Talking about not being naked, I feel like the one main thing that you can learn from Mardi Gras and the carnivals in general is the idea of costumes and masks. We carry masks all the fucking time. The work that I'm doing as an inner child activist consists of helping you taking off the mask that you've been adding into your original essence because you are afraid. And I mean, makes sense. We are a social species and we need to understand how a society works to be an effective member of it. It's beautiful, it's powerful, and like for everything, there could be a downside of it. My job is to help you strip yourself from those masks because they are, okay, maybe they've been helping you when you work because of your history, and I understand that. And I also truly believe that it's time to let go of the mask, because when you have masks like that, so many layers, then you lose yourself and you lose your soul. And you have a mask at work, with your parents, with your friends, sometimes with your boyfriend, girlfriends, people in between. You have, sometimes you go home and for whatever reason, you can't even take out the mask because you don't even know how to do it anyway. You don't even know how to be otherwise. And it's tiring. And it gets lonely because no one really sees you if you have masks. I feel like experiencing Mardi Gras means being intentional with the mask and costume that you decide to wear. It means that there is a theme for certain parties, a vibe, a question. And I believe that it's a question that you can ask yourself every single day. Who do I want to be today? What do I want to embody? What qualities, what vibe, what energy? It's just a powerful ritual that has been used forever. Mardi Gras is not only people partying and being crazy and decadent. it's, I believe there is something deeply healing when it comes to putting joy and love on hidden wounds that sometimes we don't have the courage to cater to in our day-to-day lives because it hurts too much. When you are in mask and your costume, you can definitely call on an energy, an archetype. You can be very active and make this a ritual, which means that in your day-to-day life, you wear clothes most of the time, right? So you can be intentional with the clothes that you wear. There is this amazing book that is called The Alter Ego Effect, The Power of Secret Identities to Transform Your Life. And it's a book by Todd Herman. I will put all the information in the description. And he talks about the rituals that some people, personalities, stars, singers, athletes, are using in order to embody something when they feel like they are not able to do it themselves, you know? It's like you have different version of yourself within you. And sometimes you're just going to call an archetype or a part of yourself because you know that bad bitch is able to do the work that you may be too shy to do, you know? And the power of choosing what you decide to wear, especially when we are out of a situation where we were forced to wear masks. Now, today, I believe that you can decide to be empowered by what you wear. It can be a costume if you decide, or it can be just your day-to-day clothes. I love to do that. I love to be a little bit mystical with my clothes because I know the power that they have on myself and on the world around me. Then, what I think you can learn from this Mardi Gras experience is the power of community. Community, you belong, there is no doubt, you exist, and you are celebrated for it. It's a freaking initiation.
Yo, my biggest reasons and my biggest loves and the thing that keeps me going to Mardi Gras every year for however many years it's been now. Yo, the sense of community is insane. The level of support that people show each other in that city is insane. Like, every time we're there, it's generally, you know, stopping at a friend's event or another friend's event or a friend of a friend's event. You know, you see a lot of the same faces every time we go down. People you don't see, you know, for a year. It's like you saw them yesterday when you get down there. I don't know. And then just the individual personalities of everybody is just so loving and caring. I don't think there's anyone that I see down there that I'm friends with now or that I've even just met as an acquaintance over the last few years who, like, even if they saw me randomly on a night out, one, it's not like they wouldn't come say hi, or like, two, something crazy happens, it's not like they're not going to try to then help take care of you or make sure you're doing all right or get you back with whoever. Like I said, the sense of community is just crazy. There are people that I know down there or who I meet down there. They might not necessarily live in New Orleans, but who I know I can call on for whatever reason. If it's just to have a short conversation just to see how they're doing. If something crazy is going on in my personal life that I just need to talk to somebody about, or if it's just congratulating somebody, because everybody's so active, and that's going back to, like I said, the sense of community and the sense of support that everybody gives each other is so crazy. Even right now, sending this to you, you know what I'm saying? Like, or while we were during Mardi Gras, even our friend Diva, who's working during most of, if not the entire trip, you know, oh, can y'all do this for me? Like, of course. Like, even if I don't want to do something for one of y'all, I'm going to do it, period, kind of thing. And I feel like that resonates within that entire friend group. I know personally the last year had been really difficult for me, so getting to see faces and getting to interact with personalities that I don't get to as often as I would like helped me get out of a certain place I was in, even if at times I was definitely taking moments for myself. And that's the other thing I like about Mardi Gras. Like, yo, everybody's so accepting of whatever it is you got going on, or just how everybody is as an individual in the first place. So, like, yo, for instance, I need like 10 minutes by myself to do some me shit. Like, I know nobody's judging me for taking a second from the group or like anything like that. And I keep saying, like you didn't ask me to explain this from my perspective, but I feel like anybody kind of, well, not anybody, but I feel like a lot of people can kind of understand what I mean.
In a world where they tell us that we are divided, that we have to be afraid of each other because we don't believe in the same thing, because we don't have the same point of view, because it's either you are with me or you are against me. It's a very binary word, and we are so much more than this. We can befriend, love each other, and not agree on everything. And community, I think, is something I truly believe in the power of community, and I believe also that it's an amazing tool, if I could say that, to help rise the human consciousness and also to help us heal. Because I was listening to a podcast earlier, the Blue podcast, and the guy was talking about the fact that the world is not a bad place because people hate each other. The world is a bad place because people hate themselves. And it touches me so much because, yeah, you can't be in a community if you don't love yourself. So there has to be a little bit of self-love in order to be in community. And if it's just a tiny bit, you can also count on the power of the community to help you rise and help you feel like you matter, you are important, and the community wouldn't be the same if you weren't here. Look around you. Who are you surrounding yourself with? Are those people uplifting you, or are they making you feel like shit? Are these people cheering you? Look closely, and please, 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 please allow yourself to really see what's going on around you. Because the more you're gonna make space, the more you're gonna attract people that are matching your vibes and the vibe that you deserve, which is a vibe of love, honesty, trust, transparency, fun, joy, dream big, all that. You deserve this. Community is so powerful. So yeah, look around. Another point, make sure you create a space and a time for your inner child. So obviously there is the work that I'm doing, and I'm not the only one to work on the inner child. I didn't invent anything. It's a door that I open, and I'm like still in awe of like the infinite potential of working with your inner child. So it can be with me or through me or with someone else. It doesn't matter. But make sure you have a space and time for your inner child, because if you don't, you will pay for it. I'm not threatening you, by the way. I'm just stating the truth. Like anxiety attack, like panic attack, repetitive cycles in your life, things that don't go your way, financial troubles, issues with your families and stuff like that. I'm not saying that the inner child work is the answer to everything. It's again becoming the adult that you needed when you were a child. It's taking your responsibilities. It means that you are not a victim anymore. I'm not saying again that if some stuff happened to you, especially when they are systemic, that it's fair. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying that if you are blaming, that's an energy that won't allow you to take your power back. And that's what we want. That's what I want for you. Actually, take your power back. Because whoever you're blaming is not going to give it to you, for sure. So a space and time for my inner child, a space and time where, again, she was in control of everything. So the thing that she wanted to wear, the food that she wanted to eat. I even eat some meat. It's not a big deal, but it's just I don't necessarily eat meat, and to be totally honest, and I don't want to be throw shade. Please, I love you guys, but I don't eat meat in the US that much because it's not the best quality. I'm sorry. Maybe I'm wrong, but I think I'm not. But maybe I'm wrong. But then I was like, yeah, whatever. Fuck it. I do whatever I want. I feel like it gives a breather to a child, just to be like, you know what? This is your playground. Do whatever the fuck you want to do there. I'm not gonna judge you. I'm not gonna punish you. You have this limited time, so enjoy it. Because after, when we get into that plane, we're getting back to a more sustainable life. So my advice to you, or the question that I can ask you is when was the last time that you created a space and a time for your inner child to express himself, herself, just the way she or he wants? If you can't remember, then maybe it's time to curve that space and time for you because you deserve it and it's going to be beneficial. And if you think that, oh yeah, I don't have time, I have stuff to do, just know that of course you have a lot of things to do, and I'm not invalidating your reality. I'm just saying that your thoughts create your reality. So if you think that you don't have the time, then you won't have the time. If you think that you do have the time, then you will have the time to do it. It matters. Like, I changed my name from inner child coach to inner child activist because I truly believe that inner child work is resistance. Inner child work, as rest, by the way, is resistance. It's a way to resist a system that is trying to oppress us in so many ways. And the darker you are, the more you are. I really realized being in the US how Black folks are. My God, it's a lot. It's a lot. In France, we are not the best. Let's be very clear. I'm not saying that in French it's better. Nope, it's not. But maybe the difference that, for instance, we don't have we don't have guns allowed, so it makes for me a big difference. There are so many things in the system, in the US system, that I don't really understand also because I don't know it. But from what I see, which is a tiny bit of it, so I'm not going to judge, but a tiny bit of it, it's not here to help you thrive when you are a Black person. And it breaks my heart so much. And in the meantime, I'm like, okay, so what are we going to do about this? Because I truly believe that I am part of this. Also, I don't live in the US. Yes, that's true. But I'm Black. And you guys are Black too. And for me, we come from the same place. And what you guys are going through in the US, we are going through in France and in Germany and in Brazil, even in the motherland. Because the trauma is so profound when it comes to slavery and when it comes to colonization, that we are still living sometimes with chains on our bodies, even though they are not there, they are here like subconsciously. So I think that we have community work to do as Black folks, or Afro descent, if you want to call it that way. And it's fine if you don't think that's necessary. Like, we don't have to agree on everything. But I truly believe that when we come together, we are stronger. That is why I'm planning on doing my part, not only talking and be like, oh, we should work together, but making sure that my work is accessible in English too. So this podcast is also a first step towards that, because it's a message for my subconscious that, like, oh, see, you did it. Yes, of course, it was a little bit uncomfortable sometimes. Yes, you stumble. Sometimes the words that you said were not understandable. That's okay. But you survived it, and you're going to get better at it. And you need to do that because you want to create something where we can all work together and heal together and learn from each other, because we deserve it. We deserve this. And the last part that I think you can learn from New Orleans, Mardi Gras New Orleans, is to let go and let God. Like, once you do the work, once you understand that you're responsible for your life, that yes, you can blame people for everything in your life, but you can also decide that, okay, they did shit and they're crap and that's on them, but I'm going to do different, and I'm going to still manage to open my heart. I'm going to still manage to dream big and dream as big as I can, so I can, first of all, create and manifest realities for me and for people around me and for my community. And I'm going to inspire little kids that see me doing this. It's powerful to know that and to believe that you're guided and that you're loved and that you deserve to be. That's it. You deserve to be. So let go of the fear, the frustration, the anger, the anxiety, and allow yourself to live through God with love and whatever God means to you, with love and an open heart. And to remember that if you are here, it's because the world needs you. Otherwise, you won't be there, because I don't know who's creating all this amazing simulation, but I'm sure that if you're not useful in a way, you're not here. It's a gift to be alive. It's a gift to be able to celebrate. It's a gift as Black women, African descent, to be able to travel freely, when centuries ago I would have been forced in horrible situation, horrible conditions to travel and to be then exploited, body, mind, and soul, so someone else can make money out of my own existence. So let go and let God, and just if you feel drawn to New Orleans and Mardi Gras in general, or if this podcast reminded you that maybe it's time for you to explore outside of your comfort zone, it can be in a new place or it can be just new concepts, then please give yourself this gift because you fucking deserve it. You deserve to thrive. You deserve to have a life of abundance. You deserve to have a life of wearing costumes and being in an amazing community and playing with your inner child. And while you do that, you're going to give back to your community because that's how it is, you know, that's how we change the world. So yeah, just trust the process, trust whatever you're going through, even though it's not easy, even though it's hard, and try to visualize what you want for yourself. And if it's hard for you, then wear clothes that makes you feel that you are already there, because present, past, and future does not exist in quantum physics. It's all the same. Ah! Thank you so much for just staying and for listening to this podcast. It's I'm currently working on perfectionism, and I realize that we're speaking in English, even though again I feel like I have a good level of it, is really pushing that button of like, this is not perfect, the way you pronounce things is not right, it's not as fluid as in it's French. Yeah, I know that. That's my inner child talking. Okay? And the adults that I'm supposed to be for her is like, we know that, but we're going to do it anyway. Because that's the process that matters. That's the message that matters. And the rest, well, if people judge, that's fine. Like, honestly, there's nothing you can do about it. So thank you so much for being here, for staying all the way. I also wanted to thank the people who send me the voice notes. I really appreciate you guys. It's amazing that you've been able to be a part of this podcast. It means the world to me. And for us, my friends, if you like this podcast, obviously make sure you share it with people, with someone that you love and that will benefit from this. If you want to know more about myself, you can follow me on Instagram, Valérie DJMS. Sorry, that was in French. Valérie DJMS. Yeah, anyway, it's going to be on the description box. If you want to work on your inner child and you don't know where to start, but you are curious and you want to see what it means, then feel free to DM me. I am going to work on translating my website in English so you can have access to the resources, the free resources that I've been creating for the past 9 months. And we see each other in 2 weeks for a new episode of my podcast, On est Ensemble. This time it's going to be in French. I don't know exactly what I'm going to talk about yet, but it's going to be good. I know that. Thank you so much. Take care, and we are together. Love you. Bye. The podcast We Are Together is a production of my company, and all the music have been created by my sister, DJ Clemmy.